is one of Northern Ireland's fastest growing fintech companies. We started in 2018 out of a little space up in Catalyst, an office with a couple of people. We grew the business to about 60 people. And earlier this year, we sold the company to one of the biggest software companies in the UK. We went from 60 people to now 10,000 people globally. Okay, so during that period of time, I was brought in about year 3 of the company to develop partnerships, as partnerships is it can be quite a good revenue generator if you get it right. So I came in, was busy given a blank page, blank room, whiteboard, off you go for 6 months. So today I'm going to give you a little bit of insights into that journey, because partnerships at the minute make up about 50% of the revenue for Lightyear this year alone. So it's quite a profitable revenue stream if you can get it right. So just to set the scene, these two idiots up here. So an iconic partnership. Partnerships come in many different ways. This partnership alone in the 70s and 80s created 150 million in revenue for these two gentlemen. So again, it can come in lots of different formats. Today we'll talk a little bit about the technology piece. So there we go. It's a bit delicate. So if you reach into your pocket now, you've probably got one of these devices that this gentleman has developed. Unfortunately, he isn't with us at the minute. AT&T and Verizon, they actually bought, AT&T, they bought, I think it was 2.5 million iPhones off Steve Jobs for $900 million back in the day when the iPhone first came out. That was the first true successful partnership for Apple. That has now developed. You've practically got that device in your phone now. Everybody's probably got that device sitting in their pocket now. That device in your pocket is in your pocket because of a partnership. That was the very first partnership that Apple developed. So AT&T, 900 million, they paid for the iPhones. I think they made 1.3 billion in the first 2 years from that partnership alone. So that was quite huge. So that's just an example. We're all familiar with these two gentlemen. He loves his leather jackets. He's like the Fonz, really. This partnership between Dell and Nvidia, this is actually going to revolutionize human evolution. Really, AI, it's going to be everywhere. It's going to change how we operate day to day. It's going to become a part of our very fiber, just like the iPhone. This partnership alone, Nvidia have 4 key partnerships, and it makes them 30 billion in revenue to date. So that's just to show you the power of the partnership, okay? It is extremely powerful, and if you do get it right, it will bring a lot of revenue. But it takes time. It takes a lot of hard work, a lot of effort to do that. So just to give you some stats, so 75% of the world's trade is indirect, just to set the scene. So that's word of mouth, that's referral, that's also partnerships, okay? So that leaves a percentage on the table that is go out, get new business, acquire, pick up the phone, old school selling. A partnership deal will convert 53% more and faster than a normal sales deal, okay? Normal sales deal takes about 30 to 40% conversion rate. Partnerships is 53%, okay? It's like somebody just handing you the plate and saying, hey, close that deal for me. That's the way a partnership should operate. You've got a mutual customer, it should work. Microsoft's partnership model generates 95% of their revenue. They are a partnership-led business, and they've been doing that right from the start. They went into partnership with the desktop companies. They went into partnership with a variety of other companies. Excel was a partnership. They put Excel into every computer in the world. That was a partnership, and they were making money off that. Back to Apple and AT&T. AT&T definitely bought the iPhones, but what nobody knows, and if you do research it, Apple give them a 10% revenue share in every sale, and AT&T give Apple a 10% revenue share in every subscription as well. So behind the scenes, you see these fantastic partners. Behind the scenes, there's a lot of commercials going on, a lot of negotiations to get at that stage. Lightyear. So these are the partnerships that Lightyear have. So 3 years ago, we were focused on this one only, and this one was Xero. We have about 1,200 customers globally with Xero. We've got a variety of customers in all these other spaces. Sage has been one of our most prominent ones so far over the last 3 years. But overall, all of these partnerships, we would not exist without these guys. These guys need our product. Our product is far superior to the products that they have. We automate the accounts payable process. We strip data, line item information from supplier invoices, and we get them into these accounting systems so that companies can pay their suppliers through these platforms, okay? So effectively, without these organizations and these products existing, we wouldn't exist. But likewise, we fill a need for their product as well. So it's a mutually amicable partnership that we just get on with. So again, just to highlight, this little small company from Belfast, right, started in this little small office, is now working with some of the biggest companies in the world. Okay, so it is achievable. Like from little acorns do grow big oak trees, and you've got to do the yards, you've got to put the work in to make it happen. So I'm going to give you some of those insights today, just to give you a bit of a view. So for anybody who's not familiar, we've got Tam, Sam, Som. So where do we start looking at partnerships? So the first place to really start is your IPP, your ideal partner profile. Every business will have an ICP, an ideal customer profile. So it's very, very similar. So what you've got to do is you've got to look at your ideal customer profile. You've then got to take that and you've got to look at your ecosystem. Okay, so your competitors. Let's keep the tech head on with us. In the technology world, it's mainly integrations. So if I'm looking at a competitor, I'm looking at who they're integrating with, and then I'm looking at that integration model. I'm looking at how that integration is valuable to the customer. I'm looking at that product set. How is that product set valuable to the customer? So what I'll do, I'll look at the integration, and then I'll look at the size of the customers that integration has. So for example, NetSuite, I think it has between 30 to 60,000 customers globally. Okay, so that's a potential customer base for me. Okay, but then you go down this, and where you kind of end up is here, right? Because your product cannot service every single customer. We build niche products, right? And we play in hospitality, we play in education, we play in retail, sports clubs. So that's 60,000 odd customers that NetSuite has. We're probably not going to go after them all. It would be great, but you've got to be realistic, and you've got to look at your product. You've got to look at your product market fit, and does your product fit their ICP? And do you fit the ICP of that integration? So you kind of got to start there. You've got to start with ideal partner profile, just like you would with a customer. Go through your ideal partners, look at your competitors, do your analysis, and you create your ideal partner profile that way. And then you kind of end up here. You're probably going to end up with 5 to 20% of the customers you can target. And then you go after that and you build a really good partnership, okay? That in itself is very much business development as well. Just so you know, like Marty was talking about it, how he's going to Stripe, he's going to PayPal, he's going to all these different, payment partners. That's business development, right? So you've got to have that ability to go out, find the right people, strike up relationships, build relationships. Trust and relationships is the biggest thing in partnerships you've got to keep in mind. So you've got to have that business development mind to go out and hunt these people down and talk to them and understand the gaps in their product and understand the gaps in your product, understand the problems with their customers and fill that gap. So where would you sort of go after that? So once you've got the ideal partner profile, you've got to start to build your partner program, okay? So you've got to understand what your partners want, which I've kind of already alluded to. You've got to understand the gaps in their product. Do you fill that need? You've got to understand what their customers are saying. You've got to assess your competitor programs. Don't reinvent the wheel, okay? Partnerships can be very easy. Partner programs are very easy to actually develop. It's getting the partner agreements and the legals just tied up to make sure that you get it right, okay? But assess your competitor programs. What are they offering? What are they doing? Don't reinvent the wheel. Take that, make it a little bit better, find the USP, and actually sell your partner program like a product. That's kind of how I do it. My partner program for my division is a product that I sell to our partners. Think of it like that. Review and confirm your commercials. So understand what the marketplace rate is. That might be a revenue share model. That might be a reseller model, whatever. There's lots of different models out there. I won't go in today because I could talk all day about it, but there's lots of different models available out there. And once you get that model, you've got to review and confirm your commercials. Get that locked in. You might need to have some legals on that. You might be savvy enough to do it yourself, but just remember it's a risk as well. If you don't have the right legals in place, you're liable, right? And if something goes wrong with the product, you're liable. So make sure you get that sorted as well. You've also then got to, you're setting a new division, right? It's a new go-to-market function. So it is very much BDM, but you've got to get the systems, the processes, and all the assets in place. So you've got to build your partner agreements. You've got to build your marketing. You've got to build all the collateral. You've got to build the landing page. You've got to have all that in place as well so that you can go out and actually sell. Now you can, if you adopt this sort of technology mindset, you can MVP it. Just get it out, build it, very basic, and just go out and sell it, okay? And then test, iterate, and go to market. So the test piece is really important. Partnerships is based on trust. So what you've got to do is don't go after the big partners first. Get your small cohort of partners that you're probably never going to work with, right? But they might have 2 or 3 customers that you want. Go after them, test what you've built, get the feedback, test again, get the feedback, and then go to the bigger partners that you want to play with. The reason for that is, once that door's closed, it's typically closed in partnerships. You know, they'll just go out and they'll find another product that can support them, like you. So make sure you've got all those ducks in a row before you actually go out to market. So very, very high level, there's a lot more that goes into it, but very, very high level, that's kind of where you want to go. And then when you're going to market, I know, sorry, it's very complex. Partners is a complex area to get into, but it's the typical bow funnel, right? You've got your partner awareness and your outreach. That's like BDM, phone calls, emails, events. You got your consideration, introductory meetings, demos, things like that. Then you're in negotiation stage with a partner. So Marty again was talking about this earlier on. You're back and forward. You know, what rates can you give me? How can you give me them? What way does it look like? When am I getting paid out? That there's a lot of process in that. It's like you send a customer a proposal. That customer then comes back and negotiates with you. Same process really here as well sometimes. Partner agreement gets signed, everything's agreed. And then this is where it slightly changes. You're into partner enablement, okay? So you want to align their teams with your team. For example, Lightyear, if Sage Intact or Xero send us a customer, my onboarding team and implementation team, they're aligned to how Sage Intact and Xero implement, and vice versa. So we all know how we work together. So for the customer, it's a one project approach. The customer's happy. The customer doesn't care that we're 2 separate companies. What they care about is the project goes into completion. Okay, so from like an ERP perspective or an accounting project perspective, it's very, very important that we enable everybody in both businesses. And then this is probably our USP as a partner program. We co-sell with all of our partners. That is trust. So in this space, there's a lot of ISVs, independent software vendors like Lightyear, that will go and work with these big companies, and they'll just take. They'll take till the cows come home, and they'll give nothing back because they look at Sage and go, or Xero go, it's a big multi-billion-pound company. What do I need to give them? What you've got to remember, that's up here. The people you're dealing with is on the ground with you. They're the relationships. That's what's important. Those are the people who are actually going to help you. So you've got to co-sell with them, build trust, throw them some leads. They'll throw you tons of leads in return. They've probably got more leads for you than you do for them. But if you build the trust, they're going to start to open that channel with you. So new business will take longer to close because they're bringing in new deals themselves. But their account management teams and their customer teams, that's where the keys are. That's where the gold is, because they have existing customers that you could probably get at. So it's how do you get into those? And the only way you're going to do it is building trust, building relationships. Over the last 3 years, I've spent most of my time in airports, Ubers, tubes, events. Like, you know, the last 3 years, I've sacrificed a lot, but what I've got back in return has been threefold, okay? So I think we live in a world of technology, but just remember, you're dealing with people, right? And to get the most out of them, get to know them, spend time with them, show them love, and they'll all come back to you. And then you go into partner account management. The partner account management piece is, you know, like account managing a deal, right? But these people are giving you information back about your product. They're giving you information back about your integrations. They're telling you what their customers are saying. So there's lots in this, okay? There's tons of value. And this is a typical model that I would sort of operate, and it does evolve partner to partner. This model is quite a broad stroke, but partner to partner, it's going to evolve, okay? You might have, this part just doesn't exist. You might have, well, you're already here, so you crack on. So there's lots of value in that. And again, I'm happy to chat about anybody if they want to dive into this a bit more. So just to wrap this up, because anybody knows me, I love to talk. Top tips. Tip number 1, test. Build, test, iterate, build, test, iterate. Okay? And keep doing that until you get the product that you want. Keep doing that until you get the product market fit and the partner program suits the partners you're dealing with, okay? It's really like building a tech product, right? Just do this exact same, you know. Trust. In the partner world, trust, and again, indeed in sales, but more so in partnerships, trust is your number 1 currency. If you burn that trust with a partner, I'll give you an example. If a NetSuite partner sends me a deal that I can work on, but then we give that to a Sage Intact partner, see you later. That NetSuite partner gets wind of that, they'll never work with me again. So that one opportunity, which could have been 300 opportunities of their customers, just disappears, okay? That does happen. So managing partner expectations, managing open ecosystem, managing partner conflict. These are all things you need to consider. It does take a lot of resources. It does take a lot of time. Loyalty and trust are the number one currency you will have as an organization for partnerships. So keep that in mind. It's kind of an unwritten rule. Listening is one of the biggest things you can do to your partners. Your partners will give you so much value about your integrations. They will give you so much value about your product. They will give you so much value about what their customers want. Listen to them, speak to them. That's where that account management piece comes in. You just got to get out there, speak to the partners, and they'll tell you exactly what you need to know. Yeah, the fancies there, yeah. I know some wacky slides anyway. Executive buy-in, that is key. I've been very, very fortunate at Lightyear where the executive team fully buy into partnerships and they've supported me every step of the way. Even with some mad, wacky ideas, they've given the support, and that has helped partnerships succeed Lightyear. If you're thinking about partnerships in your business or you want to build the case, make sure that your executive team is bought into it, because it can be expensive. There is a lot of time and resource that needs to go into it. Partnerships probably taken realistically 2 years to build it Lightyear, and we've now started coming to revenue. It takes time, but if you don't have the executive buy-in, you're flogging a dead horse. It will not work, because they will constantly ask you. They'll want you to go fast. Partnerships isn't a fast fix for revenue. It's a long-term game. It's an investment, and it will come back to you threefold. But it's not a quick win. So if you're going to your executive team and you're pitching it as a quick win, that's your first wrong move there. You've got to say to them, this is a division. This is a strategy for the business. It's going to take time to build. It's going to take resource and energy. Okay. Budget is another big thing. Partnerships, you can have very light partnerships, referral agreements, and you can have a business development manager managing partnerships to test it. But if you want to go full pelt of partnerships, you need a partner account manager, you need a partner sales manager, you need someone like a head of strategic partnerships, you potentially need a partner marketing executive. It's its own division sometimes. If you touch lucky and you do get people in the business that can manage partnerships, that's great. But really, if you want it to work, it is a strategy and you need to invest in it. The time piece is really important. It takes time. Partnerships don't just happen at the click of a button. Now, in Marty's instance, or if it's a transactional partnership where you just click a button, customer clicks a button and money happens, that's great. But reseller partnerships, tech integration partnerships, digital advisory partnerships, these all take time to build. So make sure you have the time available. And the last but not least, if you're out there and you're pitching to partners, right, the partner might say, this happens a lot, right, with us. All of the integrations we work with have incumbent AP partners, and we were newcomers to the space, okay? So I literally had to do the yards and just constantly knock doors and knock doors and knock doors. 3 years later, we're working with some of the biggest companies in the world, okay? So always leave the door open. Even though they said no to me then, I was persistent. I took their feedback. I went and told our product team, our integration teams, this is what they want in our product. This is what they want to hear. This is what the customers want. We went off, we did that. I came back with the proof in the pudding, and the door was left open. Okay, so always leave the door open. That goes in business in general. Never burn your bridges. Always keep your bridges open. Leave the door open for partners to come back to you, or for you to go back to your partners. So listen, that's a quick fire of 1 minute, 55 seconds left. That's a quick fire insight into actually building what might be a partnership team or an organization for your business. We'll open the floor to some questions. Anybody want to know how to develop it, or?
From like magic. Hilary Cocker is my name.
Yeah.
Very interesting about partnerships from any level, not just even in the type of business you do. I do services, which is different.
Mm-hmm.
Do you go out purposely to build those relationships and then ask for partnership, or how do you get the interest?
Yeah, so it really depends. So you've got to start with your ideal customer profile, okay? What services do you offer? Do you mind me asking?
It's HC Mental Health and Wellbeing.
Okay, cool. So HR consultancies, HR directors, those types of businesses, and insurance companies that offer health and wellbeing services. So you've got to sit down, you've got to look at your ideal partner profile, okay? Who in your ecosystem is offering services like me? Who would get value from reselling or offering my services? What value can my services add to other businesses? So you've got to really start with your ideal partner profile. That's your starting point. You're right, partnerships can be done in any space, right? It can be done in absolutely any industry. You just got to find the right partnerships. So you start with your ideal partner profile. Maybe look at your competitors, LinkedIn, websites, whatever. You'll see their partners on there. That'll give you an idea of where to start. And then once you get those sort of businesses, you'll know, right, I need to find more businesses like that. Okay. The TAM piece, your total addressable market, and then your SOM. So the services you may offer, you may be able to go over the whole TAM, but realistically, your product market fit will define, well, actually, I only work with 20% of that TAM. So then you've got to come down there and look at those businesses. Okay. So ideal partner profile, competitors analysis, and then go out and find your partners. Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. I'm buzzing here. Any other questions?
How's it going? Brilliant.
Yeah.
Love it. Partnerships, like I've been in partnership roles before, they're so difficult to kick off, but the big thing for me is always executive buy-in, stakeholder buy-in. Like,
yeah.
They all, as you say, they want it done quickly, and the same goes for business development. I was working with Declan and stuff, trying to talk people into doing stuff. It's like, yeah, but you should be doing that in 2 weeks. And you're like, no, we need to actually, terrible word, groom these people into what we do and how they need us. But what advice can you give to actually trying to knock those sort of preconceptions down in the C-suite of time, and how much money do you need? Why is it going to cost so much? Why do you need 2 years runway to get that sorted? How do you even quantify answer that question to them?
Yeah, that's really hard. It's a really difficult challenge, because when you've got a business that's successful and they're making revenue, sorry, this is buzzing. Give me 2 seconds. That's not bad. Marty's, there you go. Thanks for that, Marty. So to knock away those preconceptions, so first and foremost, if you've got a business that's successful and their go-to-market function has been generating leads from marketing, generating leads from sales, co-business development, it's very hard to change that mindset. Oh, we've done it this way, it always works, right? So you've then got to position it, right? Well, this is growth, okay? So are we going to target, how much of this TAM can we get with the resource that we have now? Okay, so you've got to paint that picture. We're only getting this much now, okay? But through partnerships, all of a sudden, I've got, like, I'll give you an example. On our CRM, I have about 350 partner contacts, right? That's a sales force. I've got 350 salespeople at my fingertips. And if I help them and work with them and build trust and build relationships, they will give us opportunities, okay? So, Mr. CEO, Mr. whatever, are you going to invest 5 million into our business to get 350 salespeople? Or are you going to invest 190 to $250,000 to actually get partnerships going? Give it 2 years and we'll have a sales. That's how I would sort of paint the picture, Data points as well. You got to look at your competition. Are they doing partnerships? How successful is that? That's also, again, why your ideal partner profile, your competitor analysis, that's why that's important, because that will give you an indicator, actually, is this going to work as well? So building the business case around, do we have resource available now? Or can we make a small investment now to get access to the resource that's indirect? That's how I would picture that. Yeah. Any other questions? Any other thoughts? Yeah? All good? Go ahead, yeah.
I like stories, so I would like to know who was the most challenging partner to get and why, and how you got this partner in the end.
Yeah.
Think about any.
Yeah, so I'll give you like an example. There's the second largest software company in the UK in the accounting world, Sage. They have tons of incumbent AP partners. They launched Sage Intacct in the UK 3 years ago. When they did that, they only had one incumbent partner. That incumbent partner was based out of France, so their UK presence. So it was kind of the stars aligned, right? And they didn't have a big UK presence. We were here in the UK. I was in front of Sage 24/7. I identified all the key stakeholders. So understanding that company, that incumbent partner, wasn't investing fully into the partnership, didn't have feet on the ground, understanding the gaps that they were offering, that they had in their partner offering, and then basically us filling those gaps. So co-selling with their team, being in front of them, meeting them regularly, building. That's how I overcame that. So it's, again, your ID partner profile. I'll keep going back to it. Your competitor analysis is super, super important, because that will help you define where you're going to play, how you're going to play, how you're going to position yourself, and how you're going to overcome the challenges. Now, at times there is ad hoc things that just pop up. For example, when we built our Sage Intact integration and took it to market 3 years ago, it was version 1. This other company was on like version 3 of their integration, so it was mature. They knew all the challenges, they knew all the problems. We had to find all of those out. So we had to be agile as a business, and we had to develop our product, our integration very quickly. So other businesses will have different release cycles in their integration stack. Okay, so they might release every week, they might release every 6 months, they might release every year. We're an agile business, so our USP is we release every day. So we were able to take those challenges in that product, in that integration, and just fix it very, very quickly and iterate to a maturity level quicker than what they did. So again, it is very much business development. It is very much, understanding your marketplace and all of that stuff, and then using that to your advantage. But learning as you go as well. There's no one straight path. It's not linear. It is up and down, and you just got to go with the flow as such sometimes as well. Yeah. Think that's us at time. If there's no other questions. Good, brilliant. Listen, thanks very much. Appreciate your time.